Hello, and thanks so much for joining us today. I'm here with Omar Singh, founder and president of Surge Transportation. Recently, Omar wrote an article on FreightWaves.com talking about the differences between real-time and spot pricing. Omar, thanks so much for joining us today and talking about it.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Excellent. So, Omar, just jumping into thing, what is real-time pricing and what problems does it solve for shippers?
So the difference between real-time pricing and spot pricing is that the most fundamental kind of high-level difference I say is that spot pricing is by mistake and real-time pricing is by design. And so what I mean by mistake is the traditional spot pricing, most of the time shippers go out to bid for the year, they forecast their demand in a linear way, and they say, okay, I think I'm going to have, 25 loads a week on this lane, and they, then linearly secure capacity for 5 trucks a day, Monday to Friday, and think that the 25 are covered. But demand isn't linear, so their end customer might order 15 of the loads on a Monday and 10 of them on a Tuesday, and then the routing guide kind of doesn't work. And then they just send those loads to auction because they're not covered by mistake. Whereas now with APIs, it's a lot more by design where shippers are able to say, okay, I want to control the community of carriers who I work with better rather than it being sort of anybody and everybody bidding on loads. It's a more select group of carriers that they're inviting into that environment. Also, they're able to control KPIs at the level of the load better. Normally, KPIs are scorecarded kind of monthly or even yearly to see if people are allowed to participate in an RFP event and receive an award based on your service level. So now they're able to give weightage to KPIs in auction and sort of say, if you have a higher, service level, then we're going to essentially give you more loads or you're eligible to receive more loads. And if there's a lower likelihood that you're going to do a good job or there's a lower likelihood that you're going to accept this tender if we give it to you, then chances are that you won't get it. Another thing that they're doing is they're selecting loads rather than kind of by mistake because there was no primary capacity. They're selecting origin sites or volumes of their business. Some people say the low volume business they're setting to API for brokers. We're working with other shippers who are saying, well, it's our highest volume outbound origin domiciles where we want the API providers who are more familiar with our network to be the people bidding on that freight and helping us move it as best as possible.
So, Omar, it sounds like there's a lot of variables at play. How easy is this to activate?
So for shippers, it's generally very easy. If you work with large enterprise TMSs, they already have the capability of activating it. Most of them will turn it on complimentary for you if you're working with service providers who also have the capability of providing rates using the API REST external rate engine. Some of them charge a small configuration fee. Surge covers that configuration fee for our customers in Oracle and in Mercury Gate. We're also integrated with Cubics, and we're talking to some of the other large enterprise TMSs, and we'll be able to kind of go public with those relationships in a couple of months once the integrations are completed. For carriers, it's a little bit more difficult. You have to build kind of an algorithm or a logic that, what do I want to do with this market data once I have it in terms of whether it's lead time or holidays or team transit. There's just different things you need to figure out how you want to handle mathematically, and then kind of develop the software to be able to integrate REST APIs in whichever benchmarking tools you find to be the most reliable. And maybe you blend those tools and you give them different weightage, and then also integrate the REST APIs with the large TMSs to be able to return rates essentially every 2 minutes is what we do. Return them every 2 minutes. So.
Got it. And Omar, back to those shippers, what should they expect with their experience using real-time pricing service providers?
Well, in our experience, every shipper who we are working with that's using real time rates is sending more volume every single month, month over month, into the real time environment. So to us, that's proof that it's working, and they should just expect a better experience all the way around because they can control KPIs better, they control the community better, and they can control the characteristics of whatever freight or domiciles they want to be in that origin rather than it being everything and anything. And carriers should also expect a better result from their bidding once they've thought through the strategies that they want to, you know, employ with the pricing tools and the benchmarking tools. So they should have more accuracy in the rates. They should have a faster return on the rates. They should be able to essentially generate more volume by just being faster and more accurate and be able to service the customer better in that way.
Awesome. Omar, thank you so much for your time and joining us and breaking this down today. We're excited to see whatever's next for surge transportation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time. It's nice to meet you.